And with that, that concludes the rollercoaster ride of emotions that we have felt throughout the ReZero series. It was brilliant, really enjoyed it. I would have to say this is probably the happiest episode of the series. I honestly thought it didn't really fit with the sort of tone that had been established with like all the other episodes. But I think as a final episode, it's a good thing because he suffered for 24 episodes. Come on, he really has. So for one episode, the last episode of this season, he's had a happy ending, and I'm okay with that. Now, for the Rem and Subaru supporters, this episode is probably going to annoy you a little bit because we see more M and Subaru. But you got to kind of look at it this way, like, he obviously loves them both, but his main gal is obviously Amelia at this time. This could change in the future, we don't know just yet. But for now, it's Amelia, and we get to see his love confession, which I didn't actually expect him to do it so casually. He sort of made that epic entrance where he jumps into the back of the thing. He doesn't say hello to her at first. He just grabs the bag of stuff, and then Amelia's like, "Why are you doing all this?" And he's like, "I love you." So that was great. We got another love confession. Lots of love confessions in this series. It's very ballsy, I must say. We get a little throwback at the end as well, where Subaru wakes up and he's like, "What are these heavenly things that I'm on?" And he's got another lap pillow off Amelia. He uses his opportunity to sort of tell her that he loves her, and he wants to apologise for when he was being selfish before, like the whole reason they had an argument. So the status quo between the two has been solved. In fact, if anything, it's been improved to the fact that Amelia doesn't say that she loves him back. She says that, "How can I deserve something like this? I'm a half-elf, I look like the jealous witch. Who am I to deserve this thing? My wish to be the ruler of this land, it's quite a selfish reason that I want to do this. Why do I deserve this happiness?" And Subaru's just like, because you do, because you're you, and I love you. And he doesn't expect an answer back straight away. This is more for the fact that you want to watch the rest of the series, don't you, to find out if they really do get together. So it's just clever marketing, really. And although she doesn't say it straight away, it's very heavily implied that she does love him as well. So Subaru is a very lucky boy. He's got bloody Rem, nearly had Crush, he's got Amelia. I mean, you know, Betty's got a little thing for him as well. Now, for the final confrontation, obviously it had some real weight behind it, but I feel like it wasn't as strong as it could have been. I don't know why, it's just like, I'm glad that Beetlejuice made one more comeback when he came back in his, like, sort of ghostly, ghastly form. I thought his eyes had been gouged out at first, and that's why his eyes were black, and that's why he kept, like, missing all his attacks and everything. But I think it was just to show that he was, like, sort of zombified. I don't know, because you could see his eyes at some point. But something that happened in this episode was something that people complained about in the last episode. When Beetlejuice took over Subaru's body and they both died, there was meant to be a moment where they both met the Jealous Witch and the Jealous Witch talked to her, but this was sort of moved on to this bit, I think. So, when Subaru talks about return by death, Beetlejuice is there, and you see the Jealous Witch's hands come towards Beetlejuice, and he's like, "Oh, finally I get to meet you, I get to finally embrace you," and she sort of goes right through him, he's like, "You're the one I want to see." Psh, slaps him. So this confirms that the Jealous Witch is in fact in love with Subaru. We knew this already. We see her mouth the word love quite a lot. So this is something that obviously gets touched upon a lot more in the light novels. We still don't know why the Jealous Witch loves Subaru, but we know they're connected, and the fact that she was the one who brought Subaru to this world because she loves him for unknown reasons. So that's something I really want to find out. Some other things about the Jealous Witch that didn't really get touched upon in the anime, but did get touched upon in the light novel, which aren't really spoilers, so I might as well talk about them. So the Jealous Witch, in her time, I think she was like a really nice girl. She was very lovely, but something happened to her where she went a bit, you know, crazy. But she developed a split personality disorder. So her love for Subaru could be one thing, her killing Subaru, killing Amelia, these are all different things. And there's a lot of theories as to what Amelia could be in regards to the Jealous Witch. One is like it's a part of her personality that's been broken off. It's like the good portion, and that's like how she's able to try and like enter her body as a vessel. The other one involves a lot to do with time travel, which would kind of fit with the theme of the series. Amelia is the young version of the Jealous Witch, and all these events that are taking place lead up to her becoming the actual Jealous Witch or something, which doesn't really make too much sense, but in a way it does, and like sort of life sort of goes round like that. So that's another theory, but God knows what is true or not. In the fight between Julius, Subaru and Beetlejuice, obviously the whole fight was pretty awesome, with Julius having his eyes closed and Subaru like looking around trying to see where all the arms are. My favourite part of it, obviously, was like the whole fight was cool, but it's the bit where he lands and then he speeds up sort of thing to like stab Beetlejuice, and then Beetlejuice puts up like the rock armor, and then Subaru gets the rock, throws it, blows it all away, and then he stabs him straight for the chest, and he says to him that your mistake was you didn't rate Subaru as an enemy, and that was your problem. And we see Subaru pick up the Witch's Cult book, and he uses it later on to defeat Beetlejuice, because he says to him that, you know, if you stayed as a monster, you might have been able to win this battle, but because you have your human side, the love part, so when he throws the book, he has to grab it, which gives Subaru the opportunity to go bosh, punches him right in the face. And I think what really kills him is the fact that he's getting pushed out of like the wind stream, so he's going like quite fast, so he can sort of get wrecked, or he got pulled under the wheel. I wasn't 100% sure what actually killed him, but it was pretty good. And we get that like death curdle where he's like, Tsunatsuki Subaru. I actually have a question for you guys. The bomb thing with all the fire pellet things that Subaru comes and takes, and he takes it to that cave and throws him in the cave. What was that cave? Was that something important? I know it was sitting under that tree that fell down, the Flugel tree, but was that like the was that the Witch's Cult's like base or something? Was he like finishing it off? You guys will have to let me know in the comment section below, because I wasn't too sure why he specifically took it there to get blown up. So please let me know. Oh, and I forgot to mention, so the ground dragon, Patrash, obviously he's making the getaway, and the explosion goes off, and both Subaru and the ground dragon fall to the ground. Did you see for like a split second, the ground dragon sort of like curled around Subaru to try and protect him? I thought, oh, brilliant. And I was so glad to see that the ground dragon survived afterwards. And not many animes actually do this, but that Subaru actually asked if his ground dragon was okay, because he has more adventures that he wants to go on with this creature. So that was good to see. So I'm going to talk about my overall thoughts of the series, and then I'm going to talk about some spoilers after that. So I'll let you guys know when the spoilers start, but first of all, my overall thoughts on the series. It was fantastic. I'm still going to give it my 10 out of 10 rating. I gave the series a 10 out of 10 rating before, and I'm still going to stick with that. The ending I thought was a happy ending, and the fact that I think this was season 2. So we've had season 1 and season 2. They were just brought out at the same time kind of thing, so it just feels like one season. There is definitely has to be a season 3. I can't see them not doing it due to the popularity that it has, and just basically how much people are going to demand another season. The fact as well that the light novels are close-ish to completion. What were they on? They're on like 7 volumes, and there's going to be 12 or 13 altogether. So I could see another season in a year, maybe. I don't really know how the anime industry works. I don't know how quickly they can pump out anime. I don't want them to rush it. I want them to take the time and make, obviously, the best series they can, because this is something I'd love to see a conclusion of. I feel like the characters in this show were written really well. Everyone had their own backstories. Everyone felt important to the series. Even Otto made a little cameo at the very end and became useful. My favourite characters from this series, number 1, Rem. Number 2, Subaru. Number 3, Betty. I really like Betty for some reason. She's Autumn, I suppose. Wilhelm was pretty awesome. I'd love to know more about his backstory of him when he was younger, meeting one of the Master Swordsmen. And this was something I forgot to mention before, but it's not really a spoiler, so I'll just let you guys know. Wilhelm doesn't really like Reinhardt very much, and the reason this is because his wife, the reason that she lost against the whale, which is something I didn't quite understand myself, is during that battle, apparently the Master Swordsman, like, blessing passed on to her like lineage, which was Reinhardt. So that is the reason why she lost the majority of her powers in that battle, and that's the reason why she died. And this is something that Wilhelm blames Reinhardt for. So he never really like loves him anymore, kind of thing. So that is something that, you know, keep that in mind. That's something that could come into a big play in the light novels. But that was something that I didn't know the answer to, and now that I know, I thought I'd pass it on to you guys, so it was interesting. The fantasy world this series has been set in as well, I thought was really interesting. There's just so much like diversity. You've got all these different creatures and stuff, and there's so much that you get like little glimpses of, like how the economics work and how these different races get along with each other, and they give you just enough where it's interesting and you can like sort of expand the universe a little bit more, but not so much that you realise that it's quite a small world really. But yeah, I'm interested to see what's outside of the capital and all these things. What it was this dragon? Is this dragon real? Where is this jealous witch being kept? Where she's being like held or whatever it is. There's just so many questions that I want answers for that I really want them now. And overall for the series, in terms of animation, sound, and voice acting, I guess. Voice acting I thought was spot on. There were some really memorable ways of speech, sort of thing, like Roswell, like that's quite a memorable way of talking. Yeah, hello there, Subaru. Sort of like, you kind of guess how he speaks. And obviously Rem always has this kind of like soft, quiet sort of voice that she always has, but when she gets serious, when she meets the witch's cult and everything, she's got that really like angry voice. She's got two distinct tones to her. That's why I really like Rem so much. She's so fucking awesome. Subaru, of course, he went through the best character development that I've seen in a series as well. He went from a lazy, neat, normal guy to sort of this person in this fantasy world who tries to be sort of epic, but he can't be because he's useless. Then he becomes a twat, and then he becomes a better person, and then he becomes sad, and then he becomes depressed, and then he goes crazy, but then he goes through all these experiences so he can come out a better man. And yeah, fantastic. So then that's pretty much all I want to say about the anime. Not get into spoilers, we'll get into those in just a second, but overall the series was fantastic. I'm still going to give it a 10 out of 10. What did you guys sort of rate this series overall? Are you excited for a season 2? If you have any information on a possible season 2, then please put something in the comments section below. After seeing the love confession between Amelia and Subaru, what is your sort of thoughts now on the best girl? Is it Rem or Amelia? Obviously, I'm still going to go in the Rem camp because, you know, she's awesome. And yeah, but I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed this review series as well, then smash that thumbs up because I've really enjoyed making these episode reviews, and really sad that I'm not going to be able to do them for hopefully a while. I can do them again soon, eventually. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. On to the spoilers. Okay, so spoilers are coming in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so long ago, I was spoiled to the fact that Rem, please turn this off now if you don't want to have spoilers for the light novels, but I'm guessing you're still here, so alright, then we're going on it. So, Rem gets her name and memory eaten by the whale, I think it was. So I'm not sure how that happens, was because Rem was fine when she was like going off with Crush and everyone. So did the whale like explode and then everyone forgot about Rem, or did someone else come and eat her name or something like that? If it's one of the other Sin Archbishops, if it were. So when I was watching this episode, I really expected that to happen. And at the end, I thought there was going to be an after-credit scene where Amelia and Subaru are sort of coming back to the city or something. And then Subaru would turn to Amelia and say, like, oh, we'll go see Rem and see if she's okay. And then Amelia would turn and go, who's Rem? And it just end there. I thought, obviously, that would be a really, like, kick in the balls kind of thing as a way to end the series. Like, it'd be on a real downer. But it would have been really impactful, and it would have really, really, really made me want to go read the light novels. So I get why they didn't do it, but I think if you really wanted to make an impact, they should have included that, because that would have been bloody hell. That would have been crazy. So yeah, I'm glad they didn't include it, because now I get to end this series on a high. But it also means I don't get to use the title for this episode, which I was going to do, which would be, they can't end the series like this, no, or something like that. But yeah, I want to know if you guys are happy with this ending. Put like spoilers and stuff if you think you're alright with the anime ending like this, because obviously if they make a new season, then they can just open up the first episode with, wait, who's Rem again? And that will obviously break your heart like instantly as soon as you start the new series, and you're like, oh my god. So yeah, that's something to not look forward to in the future. Yeah. Of course as well, now that Subaru's defeated Sloth, he has absorbed the powers of Sloth, so now he can sort of do the purple hands. So at this point on, Subaru could potentially become a much better fighter and a more dominating force, I guess. And does he absorb the whale's powers as well, which are, he can produce like a miasma kind of thing, which makes people that aren't very good with magic sort of like forget who they are or something, like temporarily. It's something to do with that. Let me know in the comment section below. But I like the fact that Subaru is kind of like the Peter Petrelli of this series, if you've watched Heroes. He, every time he defeats one of the Sin Archbishops, he absorbs their powers kind of thing. So he seems more like the vessel than Amelia seems like the vessel for the Jealous Witch, because he's absorbing all these powers. And did those powers all belong to the witches of the old times? Because there was like 7 witches, wasn't there? Each of the Sin witches. So did they all have these powers, or did they just bless someone with these powers who were their like protectors or something like that? That's something else as well. I want to see more about the Jealous Witch and how she sort of, what did she do? She consumed or killed all the other witches. Yeah, it's just all really interesting. I want to see more. But yeah, I think that was pretty much all the spoilers that I had that I wanted to talk about. So yeah, we'll catch this up hopefully in a year. So I just want to say to everyone that's been watching these reviews every week, a huge thank you to all. It's been a great experience, this anime has. I've really enjoyed every moment of it. Sad to see it go, I really am, because what am I supposed to do on a Sunday now? Go outside and play, or get a job and do some work? Sounds awful. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. See you later. Right then, guys, so recently I subscribed to Loot Crate. Specifically, I subscribed to Loot Anime. They specialise in sending Loot Anime related stuff, and I thought that I'd do an unboxing for you guys and show you the kind of stuff I got. Unfortunately, I'm in the future, so I've already opened it all, so I know what I get. This is what the box looks like after you've turned it inside out. It's kind of like a treasure chest, which we're going to see a treasure chest worth of stuff inside. Also, I'm wearing, spoiler, a t-shirt. You'll see more of that later. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Here we go. Right then, here we go. Welcome to the unboxing. First things first, let's get through this protective layer, which